The day Madara defected from the main gate of Konoha, not a single clansman followed him. No one was behind him. That's how the double-layered Susanoo came to be. And as I watched Madara's slowly fading back, I decided to make up for the regret Madara had in my past life. So I resolutely stepped forward. I walked to the gate and shouted loudly, "Is that Madara?" Madara, who was just about to step away, paused his footsteps. He turned around and looked. It was actually a boy chasing after him. "It's you?" Madara recognized me. The reason he remembered me is because I went to the battlefield 4 years ago and fought the Senju clan until the very end. I even earned the title Swift Ghost. Lord Madara, I never thought you'd still remember me. I spoke to Madara with sincere eyes. "I am Uchiha Kamil. I am willing to follow you." "What?" Madara's emotions shook slightly, his pupils trembling. "You're willing to leave Konoha with me?" I'm different from those stupid clansmen. I'm willing to leave with you." Hearing my words, Madara's mood suddenly became a little complicated. He sized me up from head to toe, yet after a long silence, he suddenly let out a cold snort. "Are you here to pity me?" With that, he proudly turned his head away. "Go back. Even though I'm no longer your clan leader, I, Uchiha Madara, don't need anyone's pity." I immediately said, "Lord Madara, I really do want to leave Konoha. Staying here any longer is completely meaningless." "Why?" Madara asked without even turning his head. A trace of resentment flashed across my face. "Because the Senju killed my parents. They weren't even ninja at all. They were just rescuing wounded clansmen. But the Senju still brutally killed them. I can never let go of this hatred, no matter how much time passes." Madara nodded. "Looks like you share the same pain as me. But that still isn't a reason for me to take you with me. I remember you still have a younger brother, right?" "Yes, but that fool has already been brainwashed by the Senju. He only cares about devoting himself to the so-called will of fire. Completely forgot about the hatred, even made peace with our enemies." How ridiculous. A bleak look came over my face. A sharp cruelty flashed in my eyes. Uchiha mirror, he betrayed me. He's not my brother anymore. Uchiha Madara's gaze drifted, and he fell silent. He was clearly touched by my words. I stared at his back. "Ever since you lost the Hokage election, I've already understood. If even you can't become Hokage, then who else among the Uchiha can stand up? All of this is false peace. What with our compromise? But those pathetic clansmen, how could they ever think Konoha would accept them?" Those words cut right to the bone, even though Madara stays silent. I can see his body trembling slightly. Seeing the moment is right, I immediately strike my killing blow. I stand there watching, as one foolish clansman after another. Sometimes I even forget who I really am. And now, I've completely had enough of this morning. An idiotic clan that finally gets a reaction out of Uchiha Madara. He looks up at the sky and lets out a long, slow breath. I have no use for weak followers, but after hearing Madara's arrogant tone, I just smile calmly. In the blink of an eye, my once pitch black eyes turn vivid crimson, each holding 3 inky black tomo, spinning rapidly around my pupils. This is the aura of the 3 tomo Sharingan. Madara finally turns around, a spark of interest peaked. "No wonder you can make it to the battlefield so young. Your eyes have already developed this far?" "Huh?" He crosses his arms over his chest. "At this level, you do have the qualification to follow me." But what happens next takes Lord Madara completely by surprise. After hearing that, the corner of my mouth lifts even higher. My pupils blaze with red light. The 3 tomo swirl around each other, spread, and grow. In an instant, they form the gorgeous pattern of the Mangekyo. Actually awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan. Madara freezes his feet and shows words. His expression instantly turns serious, his voice laced with shock. Even for him, he can't keep his composure after seeing these eyes. Because this is nearly the pinnacle any Uchiha clansman can ever reach. What exactly you go through? Madara suppresses the excitement in his chest, his gaze burning as he stares intently into my eyes. Because what he's most curious about right now is what ability my Mangekyo holds. So I begin to explain it all to him. The dojutsu on my left eye is called Makura. Its ability is to adapt to all things and deliver the strongest possible counterattack against whatever it adapts to. It can infinitely analyze everything I touch or see. This process is called adaptation. Once adaptation is complete, it nullifies any effect from that thing, granting me permanent immunity to the damage from it, and allowing me to launch a solid counterattack against the source. As for the dojutsu on my right eye, it's called the Menakikura. Its ability is temporal reversion, freely reversing my own time and space state, unconditionally restoring my current state to how it was at any point in the past. The maximum time range is 5 minutes, with near infinite precision of time points, and it only has a 1-second cooldown after activation. Whether it's time or space, you can choose freely. Madara found it fascinating. His eyes lit up with brilliance. Infinite adaptability, time reversal. This is true divine power. And when the two work together, the effect is even more extraordinary. I have to admit, this Uchiha clan head has a sharp eye. All right, let's go. Madara, turn around. His melancholy was completely subdued. The joy of my Sharingan faded it. But just then, I suddenly stopped and called out to him. Madara tilted his head slightly, puzzled. "What? Did you forget something?" "Lord Madara, actually, there's another clansman who has awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan." "What?" Madara asked in shock. "Could be your brother?" I shook my head. "He doesn't have the talent. He hasn't even awakened it yet. But that's not important. Lord Madara, do you remember the mid-Warring States period? The Uchiha sealed secret weapon? The Uchiha clan's secret weapon." Madara pondered for a moment and suddenly realized. Could it be Uchiha Hikari? But she was sealed by the Senju clan. "You want to release her?" Madara asked. "She's also an outcast. If we can bring her to our side, I believe, under your leadership, we can become the new Uchiha. But even I don't know where she's sealed." "You don't know, but Konoha might." I showed a sly smile. "I bet in the Hokage building's secret chamber. There's a secret scroll about the weapon." "I see." Madara was thoughtful, momentarily troubled. "You just broke up with Hashirama, left the village. Sneaking back now isn't his style." I saw his dilemma and patted my chest. "Lord Madara, I can sneak back quietly, steal the scroll under cover of night. But that's dangerous for you. Aren't you afraid of being caught by Senju ninja?" I smiled confidently. "Lord Madara, teleportation and stealth are my specialties. They won't notice. Even when I followed you out, I avoided everyone's sight. So we plan to act tonight. Success or not, we must leave before the moon is brightest." Madara would wait outside the village. Soon night fell. I prepared to move. Using my agility and teleportation, I avoided the night patrol. No one noticed. In minutes, I reached the destination. In front of the Hokage building, 2 Senju guards were on duty. "Hey kid, stop. What are you going to do at night?" I'm not going to talk nonsense with them. At the moment of lifting eyes, the riding wheel opens 3 Goju Jade to rotate slightly. Just look at each other. Both of their bodies burned into a black flame. I screamed and fell to the ground. I stepped quickly into the building. Soon arrived at the door of the Chamber of Secrets. The gatekeeping ninja was about to exclaim, but under the red light of the shining eyes, he immediately lost consciousness. Magic puppet, I quickly ordered him to open the Chamber of Secrets. There's a seal at the door of this chamber. Warlock, it's definitely not going to work hard. Although I can say that I'm a knack for sealing. But by controlling a 1,000-handed ninja guarding the gate, soon opened the Chamber of Secrecy, pushing the door lightly and entering. Looking at the dazzling array of books and scrolls, I can't help but frown. He turned to the 1,000-handed ninja and commanded, You found the sealed book of the Warring States period and ordered my man's head. Although the expression is wooden but very obedient in the Chamber of Secrets, it's really easy to start rummaging through scrolls. Is it time to strengthen the practice of illusion in the future? Since the S level has come, the S level should not go empty-handed. So I ordered the Yankier Ninja. You go take the S class in the secret room. Find me ninjutsu or forbidden skills. A 1,000-handed ninja nodded mechanically after several searches. I have 2 more scrolls in my hand. Is there only 2 scrolls? But it's enough. If you take too much, it will not be easy for you to explain it for a long time. I ran out of the Hua Shadow building with the booty. After putting down 3 patrol ninjas in a row, finally close to the main entrance of my village can be about to go out. Suddenly feel the threat of death hanging over the body. But before I can make a move, a cold bitterness against the throat. Uchiha, a born evil brat. Where do you want to go? Could this deep, deep voice be? I opened my eyes wide and my eyes fell to my cuffs. I don't know when a transient warlock representing Flying Thor is quietly imprinted there. And looking at the mark of Flying Thor on my cuff, I instantly understood. I was betrayed by myself. I jumped after thinking of this in an instant. Pull a large distance. Insidu even left a faint afterimage. A clear figure came into view. It is between the 1,000 hands of today's Hua Ying's own brother. I silently clenched my fists and suddenly calmed down. I now have 2 options. Spatial displacement using the force of the sky of the right eye kaleidoscope. Return to the position at any time within the previous 5 minutes. Now that I'm exposed, if I just vanish abruptly, with Tobarama Senju's shrewdness, he'd instantly sense my space-time jutsu. Then the whole village would be on high alert, making escape even harder. Plus, there's another big shot in the village right now. If I disturb him and get caught here, even Madara Uchiha would have a hard time getting me out. So, I can only play along with this guy in front of me. I'll wait for a chance to get out of the village. Once I'm outside, Madara can come to my aid immediately. Tobarama then coldly scanned me with his 3 Tomo Sharingan, plus that excellent body flicker technique. Now I remember, you're that speedy brat from the Uchiha clan. No wonder your movements are so agile. I sneered, tearing off my coat. My plan was flawless. If it weren't for some traitor snitching, you wouldn't even be here. I said with a fake smile. So, you're here to me after my dear little brother must have tipped you off, right? Seems he's really worried about me. Sharp-tongued brat. Tobarama glanced at the blood on the kunai, his eyes flickering. I must admit, you're quite skilled. Sneaking into the secret chamber at night, stealing classified documents. Who's behind you? All thanks to Lord Tobarama's excellent training. I learned all my skills on the battlefield back then. I raised an eyebrow. Tobarama snorted, not planning to talk. No matter. I'll make you spill the beans. Lord Tobarama, are you gonna stop me? Dealing with you doesn't require my direct involvement. As soon as Tobarama finished speaking, figures darted around. In just a few seconds, over 20 Senju ninjas had me completely surrounded. Brother, a small figure squeezed through the crowd of Senju. Kagami, Uchiha. He shouted at me, stop being so stubborn. You must be tricked by Lord Madara, right? You traitor. You're helping the one who sold you out. Have you forgotten how our parents died? Hatred is endless. If we let it spread, this hard-won peace will crumble. Kagami Uchiha's eyes welled up with tears. Lord Madara has already betrayed the village. You can't keep making mistakes. Huh, I laughed in fury. My fists clenched until my knuckles cracked. Who's betraying who now? Sorry, brother. I really want to stop you, but I know I'm no match for you. That's why. Kagami's voice choked with sobs, tears swirling in his eyes. But don't worry, I've already spoken with Lord Tobarama. As long as you cooperate, you'll be released soon. Then we can live together in Konoha. So I should thank you? I trembled with rage, the red light in my eyes deepening. Brother, shut up. I took a deep breath and sneered coldly. Luckily, I always knew you were a backstabber, so I kept some secret from you too. Tobarama stared at me, expressionless. Impatiently waving his hand, he ordered, take him down. Just as the ninja were about to move, I suddenly erupted with an overwhelming aura. Dark, oppressive chakra spilled from my body. Under Tobarama's shocked gaze, I slowly raised my head. The Tomo in my eyes twisted and transformed. This is the Mangekyo Sharingan. Stared at by those eyes, even Tobarama couldn't suppress a shiver. No good. This brat is beyond redemption. He must be eliminated here and now. I cannot let him become the next Madara. Without hesitation, Tobarama immediately formed hand seals. Water style, water severing wave. His strike was swift and ruthless. A thick torrent of water surged forth. Like a drawn blade. I used body flicker to dodge. But the moment I landed, an A and BU from the Uchiha clan, relying on the Sharingan's keen perception, exploited an opening from behind. Why? Why attack me? I shakily turned my body, ignoring the piercing pain in my chest, as if trying to see his face clearly. But the Uchiha ninja wore a mocking smile. The Uchiha are part of Konoha now. We can't keep a stubborn troublemaker like you around. I reached out and grabbed his shoulder. My feral, icy glare made him tremble with fear. Dying for your enemy is a fitting end. I raised my gaze. My Mangekyo Sharingan glowed red. Demonic illusion. Shackling stakes technique. Seizing the chance, I reversed my longsword. In his horrified eyes, I plunged it into his throat. This reality-defying scene made every ninja's hair stand on end. Impossible. Can't we kill him? Damn it. What kind of healing is this? Tobarama narrowed his eyes. It's not mere healing. He clapped his hands together. Water molecules in the air rapidly multiplied. For just an instant, Tobarama keenly noticed, as I was engulfed by the water. The Mangekyo on my left, I rotated slightly, like the hands of a clock. The lead Senju ninja roared. A swarm of kunai and shuriken descended. Water splashed everywhere. Amidst the splattering sounds, the whirlpool drank blood. After a few breaths, the water dispersed. I slowly rose from the ground. Everyone could hardly believe their eyes. The boy was completely unharmed. The blood was gone without a trace, as if it had all been an illusion. My hand seals were a blur. The moment I stood up, the counterattack began. Fire style, great fireball technique. How does this kid have this level of chakra? He's clearly an Uchiha. Where does such an exaggerated amount of chakra come from? Tobarama's brows furrowed as he fell into thought. He is an excellent sensor ninja. He is very sensitive to a person's chakra volume and the intensity of their chakra reaction. So this is the special invincibility time granted to me by the power of heaven. Whenever my body is damaged, falls into an abnormal state, consumes too much chakra, or is at a disadvantage, I will revert my own temporal state back to the period before the damage. At that moment, both my health and chakra reserves are refreshed. My physical state remains full and abundant. And after the reversion, as long as I don't take damage for the next 1 second, then even the 5-minute timeline is directly refreshed. Meeting this condition, I can remain invincible. But just then, a sudden sound of tearing air came from behind. I foresaw it and tilted my head. A rapidly thrown kunai grazed past my right cheek. The next instant, warning. appearing while simultaneously thrusting a reverse grip kunai on my neck. He struck without a word. Flying Thunder God Slash. I've been waiting for you, Lord Tobarama. Tobarama was shocked in his heart. My reaction was absurdly fast. I could actually keep up with his speed from the first moment. Water style, water prison technique. Just then, I raised my right hand. Chakra, condensed as if tangible, enveloped my entire palm. As I swung it fiercely, a nice blue streak of light followed its path. Back when I endured the first wave of water style attacks, I'd already activated the Maharaga on my left eye. I began adapting to Tobarama's water style ninjutsu. Under repeated attacks, the adaptation gradually completed, and the counterattack derived from the analysis was this fleeting chakra blade. However, it's worth noting that its immunity effect is limited to Tobarama's water style ninjutsu, but the countermeasure learned through adaptation is a skill that permanently accompanies me. It is the ocular power of my left eye's Mangekyo Sharingan, Maharaga. Tobarama's body crashed to the ground, dispersing into white smoke with a thud. A shadow clone. I frowned slightly. Not far away, Tobarama stared at the youth in the mist with some lingering fear. Fortunately, I tested with a shadow clone first. Otherwise, it would have been real trouble. The cooldown for the power of heaven has only 1 minute left. I can't be consumed by them like this. My eyes are still calm. I can't help it. I can only. The third force must be able. The huge blue skull completely enveloped me, like an undead ghost crawling out of the abyss. It seems that if you raise your hand, you can break and destroy everything. Those who stop me die. As I open the Saizo, the shining eyes are blooming in the dark with a strange red light. The evil kid who killed him, Uchiha Dai. The second wave of ninjutsu is coming in, mixed with countless initiation charms. But I ignored this overwhelming attack. Step by step, he withdrew outward and then moved outward. The huge skeleton is like the iron pouring indestructible. Even under the indiscriminate bombing, he still did not move until the smoke was gone. The blue skull was unscathed. Even the momentum has not weakened by half, let alone the inner me. In contrast, the attacks of the Konoha ninja are soft, as if the soft drizzle can't lift the slightest wind and waves. Try this. I'm starting to print in the Saizono. Fire done how fireball double pill hot airflow rising. 2 huge fireballs condense in the palm of your hand. The heat envelops the whole room in an attempt to put out the fire with the technique of a great waterfall. But his water escape is not waiting for him to meet suiting. It disintegrated on its own, leaving only splashes of water. It's as if I've encountered some kind of invulnerable existence. Are you completely immune to my water? He spat. What a troublesome ability. 2 fireballs in tandem, trailing a scorching track straight to my village, with a great blessing of the energy of. No one can stop the impact of the fireball. The land was plowed into 2 straight long lines just then. A strong voice from the village. 5 heavy, Rashomon. Fireball finally loses momentum after smashing the 4th door, slowly dissipated in the white smoke in the air. A bright figure in a white dress fell from the sky. Smash a big pit in front of my village with awe-inspiring momentum. Lord, you are finally here. The crowd burst into cheers to see the figure of the moment. Everyone put down the hanging heart. Even the front room is no exception. Brother, you are here. Zhu Jian nodded and looked at me in Shirzwan numbly. Eyes suddenly sharp. Farce should be over. I let out a chuckle. Don't adults ask who I am? All I know is that you're a saboteur. I will never forgive anyone who is an enemy of the village. But at first it wasn't me who killed the killer. I stopped talking, because the pillars have already begun to print the tree of the wooden dragon. The earth and rock cracked. A huge wooden dragon snaked in. The colossal form of my Susanoo shook the ground with its might. As the wood dragon's massive jaws lunged toward me, I shook my head and smiled. I deliberately released my Susanoo. As the Susanoo dissolved into smoke, I closed my eyes. I seemed to accept my fate, awaiting death, but then, an even larger, blue arm shot out from the side. It seized the wood dragon by the neck in an instant. No matter how it writhed, it couldn't break free. Then a rush of wind. Another massive Susanoo hand gently grasped me. It pulled me back, placing me behind someone. Hashirama stared blankly at that figure. He silently lowered his hands, and the wood dragon ceased struggling. It crashed to the ground. Madara, what are you doing? Hashirama said gravely. Clearly, he linked my actions directly to Madara. I'm here for my student, Madara said, flicking his sleeve. He shielded me. Do you realize? He just killed many comrades? They were your comrades. So what if they're dead? Madara sneered. Madara, stop being so reckless. You know I can't let that child go. You've already taken my dearest friend. Will you take another? Madara's face twisted with emotion. Hashirama froze, his killing intent faltering. What? I'm taking him today. Try and stop me. With that, Madara turned and strode away with me. Hashirama remained, Madara's words echoing in his mind. The others exchanged glances. The Hokage hadn't acted, so the remaining underlings dared not make sound. Tobarama rushed to Hashirama's side, anxious. Brother. Hashirama ignored him, shouting in the distance. Madara, about Izuna, can you not let it go? Madara paused, offering a bitter smile. Hashirama, the dearest friend I spoke of was you. Why, brother? Uchiha Kagami stood helplessly, his small face smudged with tears. He watched his brother's receding figure. Bitter sorrow etched his young face. Tobarama glanced over and was startled to discover that Uchiha Kagami's eyes had turned a blood red. A pair of tomos spun within, casting an eerie crimson glow in the dark. Outside the village, Madara-sama and I sped northwest through the land of fire. Our goal was clear. We headed straight for where Uchiha Hikari was sealed. As we traveled, Madara-sama warned me, listen closely. Although your ocular jutsu is unique, it is not the eternal Mangekyo. Using it still carries the risk of blindness, and a host of other side effects, Madara implied meaningfully. Understand, Lord Madara, I whisper softly. I'll act when the time is right. Soon after, we arrive at the location where Uchiha Hikari is sealed. 2 guards stand there. Halt. Restricted area. Unauthorized personnel, leave immediately. Senju and Sarutobi. I noticed their clan insignias and smirked slightly. This ninja who participated about to guard this place? He's Uchiha Madara. The 2 Konoha ninja recognized Lord Madara immediately on high alert. Lord Madara, these 2 slaughtered many of our clansmen. We can't let them go. Is that so? Then they're yours. Madara says, seemingly not planning to intervene, and walks away, leaning against a tree to rest. You insolent brat. How dare you look down on us? The leading Senju ninja roars, drawing his longsword. But I instantly activate my Sharingan. 3 tomos swirl like a flowing vortex, possessing a soul-snaring allure. The ninja merely glances at it, and is trapped, unable to break free. Fool! Don't look at his eyes. The Sarutobi ninja beside him tries to break his comrade's Jinjutsu. Suddenly, a figure bursts from the flames. Its speed is astonishing. No, he wants us to die together. The Sarutobi ninja is horrified, tries to dodge, but it's too late. My body is wreathed in flames and thick smoke, but my eyes shine brilliantly. Pupils transformed into the intricate pattern of Mangekyo. The ninja lets out a terrified scream. The last thing he sees is my unscathed body. Impossible. He dies, filled with bitter resentment and confusion. After dealing with the two guards, I signal to Lord Madara to approach the sealing stone. Madara places his fingers on the stone wall, murmuring to himself. A space-time seal? I see. I feel a thrill. I didn't expect Lord Madara's sealing arts to be this advanced. But just as I watch eagerly to see how he'll break the seal, a flash of sea blue light passes before my eyes. With a thunderous roar, Madara activates Susanoo. A massive blue fist smashes the stone wall to pieces instantly. Amid the billowing dust, the sealing jutsu also disintegrates. That works too. I stare dumbfounded. What are you looking at? Madara glances at me. Destroy the medium, and even the strongest seal loses its effect. We quickly move to the innermost part. The deepest part of the cave is a spacious hollow. Around, seal array pattern. Ink black characters are fading in circles. Earth style, earth wave. A strange ripple spreads outward. Centered on my palm, the ground flips outward inch by inch. The debris flow moves like a flowing stream. Soon, a moderately deep pit appears on the ground. A black-haired girl is curled up inside, hugging her knees. Uchiha Hikaru, you are free from today onward, Uchiha. You are from the Uchiha clan? It was like some kind of chain reaction was triggered. Her eyes snapped wide open in stretchless. Her pupils turned into a gorgeous Manjikyu in an instant. Amaterasu. Fine blood vessels broke and leaked in her right eye. A massive pitch-black flame ignited on my back. It spread across my entire body in a blink of an eye. Shit. I screamed and threw off Uchiha Hikaru's hand. My body activated Shushin no Jutsu on instinct, and I shot 1,000 meters away in an instant. I looked just like a monkey with its tail on fire. Uchiha Hikaru moved her pupils, and with a bang, Uchiha Madara, standing beside her, was immediately engulfed in the black flames. Meanwhile, blood welled up from Uchiha Hikaru's eye sockets and streamed down her cheeks. Her originally gentle and delicate face now looked fierce and brutal. I immediately reversed my entire body state back to 2 seconds ago. The black flames extinguished instantly, as if they had never existed. My body also returned to its original state, and Uchiha Madara easily defused Amaterasu as well. He conjured full blue skeletal Susanoo around himself. All the flames were blocked outside his body and vanished along with the skeleton. I flashed next to Hikaru with a whoosh. A chopper blade was pressed against her fair neck. Don't move. Is this how you treat the person who saved you? I questioned. Savior? Yeah, you all just want me to. Keeping a weapon for the Uchiha, don't you? I will never accept this puppet-like fate. We're just like you. We were all abandoned by the Uchiha. I explained somewhat helplessly. Didn't you release me just for the war? She asked blankly. I pouted and said, the war you're talking about is already over. Except for me and Lord Madara. The entire Uchiha clan defected and melted into that cauldron called Konoha, waiting for a slow death. Just then, Madara stood in front of us, looking down and said, Uchiha Hikaru, in the name of the clan leader, I announce that starting today, you're no longer a weapon. Live your life as a free human being. After he said these words, Madara and I walked out of the secret room one after the other, leaving Uchiha Hikaru standing there alone, stunned. What should we do? Do we need to wait for her a bit? No need. Madara still had that calm, carefree demeanor. Since she chose to follow, she will see it through to the end. If she can't even do that much, she's not a true Uchiha. Madara and I ran along the tree-lined path. Soon we entered a small town, and I picked out an izakaya. Lord Madara, let's rest here for a while. Madara nodded, and the two walked into the izakaya. They chose a seat near the inner hall. I took the menu from the waiter. I ordered several large dishes generously, from last night until now. I haven't eaten a thing. While waiting for the food, I hesitated, then took out 2 scrolls from my chest. I handed them to Madara. Lord Madara, I picked these up from the Hokage building's secret room yesterday. I don't know what they are, but the seals on them are tricky. Madara took the scrolls, and with a flash of blue light, easily broke the seals. Spiritualization technique. Madara glanced over it, then opened the other scroll. This is 8 gates. He gave me a scrutinizing look. Both are S-rank forbidden techniques. You sure know how to pick them, Lord Madara. You know me. I straightened up confidently. Not taking advantage is a fool's game. So, aren't you going to train in them, Lord Madara? I probed. I thought Madara would be interested in these forbidden techniques. I don't need them. Madara said plainly. That spiritualization technique greatly enhances mental power. You should study it. The strength of ocular power is directly linked to mental power, and mental power is inseparable from in release. The food arrived, and they began eating, until the tea cooled. A stumbling figure finally appeared from the edge of sight. Uchiha Hikaru actually followed all the way. Her breathing was slightly rapid. Her pale face flushed unnaturally, looking like she just recovered from a serious illness, clearly near her limit. Where did this beggar come from? Scram, no food here. What bad luck. If the boss sees this, he'll dock my pay again. The waiter rudely shooed her. She's with us. I pressed the waiter's shoulder, showing a harmless smile. Just like that. Uchiha Hikaru also sat at the table, staring straight at Madara, her almond eyes shining with hope, occasionally glancing at the food on the table. Eat, Madara said plainly. She immediately began devouring the food. After tea and food, Lord Madara stood up, his gaze fixed on me. Do you have money? Lord Madara's low voice came over. My throat tightened. I suddenly realized something. Lord Madara, I have no money. You're the one who pulled me in here. I never planned to come here to eat and drink. The surrounding diners' eyes all turned toward us. Feeling awkward, I looked up and whispered, so, do we even have to pay for the meal? Do I look like a thug to you? Madara tilted his head. She gave me a strange look. Uchiha Hikaru wiped her mouth. She looked over curiously, her bright big eyes blinking. She tilted her head too. I looked at these two people whose appearances and hairstyles were extremely similar. A few black lines fell on my forehead. Lord Madara, you two wouldn't happen to be related, would you? Are you? As soon as these words were spoken, Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Hikaru, one big, one small, stared at me eagerly. Their gazes were mixed with a trace of confusion. Absolutely. I nodded. Just a coincidence, Madara said nonchalantly. By the way, find time to get her some new clothes. Standing out like this is too conspicuous. And one more thing, remember to settle the bill. After leaving the restaurant, Madara looked at the 2 children before him and announced, from today on, the 3 of us are the new Uchiha clan. But just then, Uchiha Hikaru asked softly, where do we go next? Madara gazed at the sky, his expression inscrutable, the ends of the earth, and soon, 2 days later, within a land of waterfalls. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 shuriken flew out in a triangular formation, accurately pinning fallen leaves on different tree trunks. I slowly withdrew my hand, glancing at Uchiha Hikaru beside me. Shuriken Jutsu, for us Uchiha, is very easy to master. I believe you'll reach this level soon too. Hikaru's delicate brows furrowed slightly. Can you be more specific? I don't understand. I blinked as if choked up. It turned out after Hikaru joined the team, I found my own basics weren't the worst. She could only use ocular jutsu. Her taijutsu, chakra control, and shuriken jutsu were simply crude. Even Lord Madara shook his head upon seeing it, then tossed out a line. This child's play stuff, Shinyu, you teach her, and became a hands-off boss. Now I clear my throat. Training shuriken jutsu requires vision, observation, and physical coordination. You possess the Mangekyo Sharingan. Your observation is unquestionable. As for the throwing technique, I thought for a moment, extending a finger. Use your favorite method. Whatever feels comfortable. Uchiha Hikari listened, black lines covering her head. Is this how Lord Madara taught you? You might be misunderstanding something. I wasn't taught by Lord Madara. I spread my hands. To be honest, my basics are poor too. I'm just slightly better than you by a tiny bit. You're lying, she said, frowning, her tone calm. You can precisely control the direction and landing points of hundreds of shuriken. Teach me. Practice accumulated bit by bit over time. Plus sudden enlightenment during certain life and death moments. Of course, the experience and guidance of comrades are also very important. Hikari tilted her head. Life and death moments? In the warring states period, not everyone is like you. As the ultimate weapon, it only appears at the critical final moment. I shook my head. As a foot soldier charging on the battlefield, if your combat skills aren't strong, you'll just be cannon fodder. Often, a person's potential is forced out. I picked up a shuriken, whoosh. It traced a graceful arc around the two of them. Like a swallow returning to its nest, it spun back to my fingertip. This is great. Teach me. Light widened her beautiful eyes, like a child who found a favorite toy. I let a long sigh. It seems her desire to become strong is even more urgent than mine. But just then I suddenly asked, do you also think the Moon's Eye plan is feasible? It turns out not long ago, Madara officially introduced us to the Moon's Eye plan. Although I know full well that the so-called infinite Tsukuyumi is just a trap set by Black Zetsu to resurrect Kagaya. But saying it now, no one would believe it. Instead, it would put me in danger. If Lord Madara says it's possible, then it's possible, Light said flatly. Talk about confident and indifferent, I secretly grumbled. These are things I should be considering right now. A flash of melancholy passed through Light's eyes. I only know that if I can't get stronger, I'm just dead weight. I'll definitely be abandoned. In the afternoon, Uchiha Light was trying tree walking training, but she fell after just 2 steps, rubbing her, but as she stood up, she looked up at the tree. I was hanging upside down, my feet firmly stuck to the underside of the branch, like a calm, composed bat. Holding a scroll casually in my hands, I replied, you're focusing too hard. My advice is to try to control your chakra in the most comfortable way for you. Imagine you're walking on flat ground. Make a subconscious instinct. Light took a deep breath and tried again. I didn't pay her any mind. My gaze never left the spirit transformation technique before me, materializing spiritual energy to form a spirit body immune to physical attacks. It can possess enemies and sense over great distances. But this technique has a fatal flaw. The body is extremely vulnerable when the spirit leaves it, and it cannot be mastered without immense willpower. This is practically the legendary out-of-body technique. I nodded repeatedly, firming my resolve to train in it. Just then, a figure landed on the branch. It was Uchiha Madara. How's the training? Not great. Light lifted her small, palm-sized face and pointed at me. She very frankly reported, he can't teach it properly. Nanny. I was shocked, wobbling as I stood on the branch. WK. Big sis, you look all innocent, but you're ratting me out? Right in front of me. I hurriedly explained, Lord Madara. Her shuriken jutsu has improved a lot, considering just one shuriken. She's already achieved 100% accuracy. It's just that her chakra control needs some improvement. He's lying. I can't learn his techniques at all. For example, when throwing a shuriken, you have to consider air humidity, wind direction, and so on. Just keep practicing. I broke out in a cold sweat. Teach me more carefully. Madara glanced at me faintly. Absolutely, absolutely. I nodded guiltily and quickly changed the subject. But more than that, Lord Madara, did you gain anything from the trip? Just a simple visit to an old friend, that's all. Cold smile on this. Investigating the people's livelihood is bound to be a long process. We still have a long way to go. And soon, 5 years passed in a flash. At this moment, in a land of lightning, be careful. Don't look at their eyes. 3 cloud ninja were frantically fleeing. A dense barrage of shuriken, like a lightning storm, forced them into a corner. And right across from them stood a handsome man and a beautiful woman in high-collared black clothes on sandstone rock. 2 pairs of crimson, 3 Tomo Sharingan eyes, gleamed with a soul-shaking, faint light. At their feet lay over a dozen cloud ninja corpses in disarray. Blood flowed like a river. Tell us the whereabouts of the Nine Tails, and we'll spare your lives. The girl's voice was clear and cold, tinged with a hint of impatience. Otherwise, don't blame us for taking matters into our own hands. This is too much. One cloud ninja roared angrily. The Nine Tails intel is a secret of our hidden cloud village. How can we possibly tell you? So you choose death, then? The girl slightly raised her eyes, her pupils instantly transforming into the Mangekyo pattern. An icy, oppressive chakra aura spread out, making all 3 of them shiver simultaneously. Damn you, Uchiha. Are you trying to start a war between the hidden cloud and Konoha? The cloud ninja, who seemed the leader, said, carefully, and recklessly slaughtered our hidden cloud ninja. Was all of this sanctioned by Lord Hashirama? Watch your mouth. We have nothing to do with Konoha. I was speaking with a young man left. His face was handsome as Arcade, a slight smile playing on his lips, but his cold, arrogant eyes held a domineering air. And don't you dare mention that person's name in front of us. As soon as the words fell, his figure appeared without warning right in the center of the 3. A flash of light. It was a segment of ice blue chakra blade, accompanied by splashing blood. A head with a bewildered expression was sent flying into the sky. What, Captain? The remaining 2 were shocked, but as seasoned veterans, they reacted immediately despite their panic, drawing their blades and thrusting fiercely, simultaneously attacking his back and side. A tearing sound, dazzling electric currents flickered along the blades. This is the hidden cloud's secret technique, ultrasonic thunder chakra blade. Yet I remained calm, my cheeks puffing slightly. Fire release, ash cloud concealment. A massive cloud of ash engulfed them completely. It was filled with unimaginable heat. The cloud ninja instinctively closed their eyes, but their airways were scorched, leaving them coughing on the spot. One ninja fought the discomfort and retreated in the opposite direction, only to be met with a heavy blow. A hand like an iron clamp seized his throat. It seemed someone pulled him from the ash cloud. He instinctively opened his eyes and immediately met a pair of eerie, bright Sharingan. Jinjutsu, puppet technique. The 3 Tomo spun slightly. His expression went blank, completely lost in the illusion. Meanwhile, from the churning ash came a series of explosions. Flames rippled outwards, followed by a scream. As the ash cleared, a charred corpse was revealed. Your body flicker is getting more elusive, Kagura. The girl landed, black clothes fluttering like a butterfly. You're not bad yourself. Both your taijutsu and shuriken jutsu exceed the level of an average jonin. I smiled and gave her a thumbs up. This young pair was, of course, the accomplished me and Uchiha Hikari. I commanded, reveal the Nine Tails location. The cloud ninja looked dazed. His mouth opened and closed. I don't know. How could I? Didn't your village capture the Nine Tails 3 months ago? That operation ended in failure. We lost many. The ninja replied as instructed. My gaze shifted. Who would know the Nine Tails' whereabouts? Lord Gold and Lord Silver might know, because they were once swallowed by the Nine Tails during a capture attempt. 2 weeks later, they returned unharmed and gained its chakra. I see. I stroked my chin, looking at Hikari. It seems we have a choice to make. What choice? Go back obediently and let Lord Madara decide, or press our advantage. Interrogate Gold and Silver for intel, then return. I reached out to Uchiha Hikari, as if offering a choice. So, obscurity or fame? I'll follow your lead. Hikari pondered. Gold and Silver. Are they strong? I shrugged. For what I know, They are descendants of the sage of 6 paths, capable of wielding his 5 treasure tools, and possess chakra on par with a tailed beast. Now, they even have the 9 tails chakra. They're definitely troublesome. Then I suddenly changed tack. But what worries me more is the hidden cloud village. Those two hold extremely high status there. He's a high-level target. If we just barge in recklessly, we could cause major trouble for Lord Madara. We just have to not get caught. Hikari frowned at me, a flicker of confusion in her eyes. Somehow, that expression looked utterly provocative to me. I'm just stating facts. If we get exposed, it'll cause an uproar across the ninja world. If the Leaf Village finds out, it could jeopardize Lord Madara's plans. I glared back, feeling frustrated. I was already 13 years old, yet I was still half a head shorter than Uchiha Hikari. Hikari thought seriously. I choose to make a name for myself. Fine, I'll risk my life to keep you company. I clapped my hands elegantly. Wait, Hikari finally caught on. Why am I the one making the final decision here? Speaking of which, it was the same on our last few missions. Why bring that up? Meanwhile, inside a hidden cave, I stared at Uchiha Hikari and warned, you must protect my body at all costs. After my soul leaves, my physical form is incredibly fragile. One touch and it's over. First, I'm not deaf. Second, I'm not stupid. Third, this is the 4th time you said this. Hikari said impatiently. The cave was dimly lit. The cloud ninja standing motionless beside them. I'm not worried about others. Are you going to do it or not? All right, I'm on it. I raised my hands in surrender. Our plan was simple. Set an ambush and lure them in. I took a deep breath, forming the ram seal. Spirit transformation jutsu. As my eyes closed, an ethereal, weightless human-shaped spirit leaped from my crown. Without hesitation, the spirit dove down, instantly entering the cloud ninja's forehead, inside the mental realm. I looked at the sleeping cloud ninja spirit. A swirling, pale light gathered in my palm, gently pressed against their forehead. The spirit carries the properties of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Once inside an enemy's mental world, Jinjutsu is guaranteed to hit. This method, akin to a soul search, skips the interrogation step. Soon, I completed the intelligence extraction. A smile touched my lips. Outside the mental realm, under Hikari's watchful gaze, the cloud ninja's finger twitched slightly. Then their eyes slowly opened. Long live Lord Madara. The cloud ninja spoke in a lively tone. Only then did Uchiha Hikari relax. This was the prearranged signal between them. I stretched my new body. From what I know, Ginkaku is a brother-obsessed maniac. If Ginkaku is harmed, he'll go berserk. So I'll ambush Ginkaku. Then you use your ocular jutsu to restrain Ginkaku. That's the plan. Remember my signal. Those brothers aren't fools. If we fail, there's no second chance, I warned. Got it. You be careful too. Oh, careful of what?